You're this perp back with another video, and yesterday I dropped my favorite movies of the 2010s. Now I figured, hey, why don't I just talk about my favorite TV series of the 2010s, because for me I think 2010 has been the best year for television, period. Like, there's just been so many dope shows, but I've picked out each a show for each year that's come out, and I think my list will be different than yours, but I want to get your thoughts on what do you think about my list so far, because I think television has been just incredible with the stories and just so many different characters throughout this decade that will always be remembered. There's been some really dope ass ideas that started towards the end of the year that I can't wait to see get fleshed out into the future, going into the new 20s. But yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also follow me on Twitter at PurpleMinded. So yeah, this list will pretty much be television and anime, because I'm going to just consider the two within the same kind of context. I got like at least two animes, another animated series, but we'll get to that very shortly. We're going to start off with 2010. Now 2010 was, an interesting year, to get things kicked off. We have The Walking Dead. Now, The Walking Dead, I've still been watching, surprisingly, because usually I don't, like, if a show goes past like 5 or 7 seasons, I'm usually tuned out. But The Walking Dead, regardless of how people feel about it now, I feel like it's still special in its own way. You got a lot of people trying to do the zombie genre and copy their formula, try to do something different, but ends up failing. And I think that The Walking Dead is still the best zombie drama that we've gotten so far. But who's to say they won't make a movie or just another show to reboot this, or anything's possible. But I think this was a good start for the 2010s. We got The Walking Dead, one of the biggest shows in history, regardless of how people feel. But then we get to 2011, we have American Horror Story. Now, American Horror Story, to me, is the best horror anthology series of all time. And there has been some weak seasons. Some seasons are better than most, but I still think it's one of those shows, like, a lot of people try to do that anthology horror and fall flat on their face, like Twilight Zone. We even talk about the Creepshow TV series. Like, Creepshow TV series I thought could possibly be a contender, but no, it just fails. But I like that this show is a different theme every season, and it just keeps it new and fresh and keeps it interesting. And I'm interested to see if they can go another 10 years. I would definitely be down to watch that. So with 2012, I had a hard time finding a show, so I found one show, Unsupervised. I remember watching this and really enjoying the first season. It didn't last that long. I think it lasted like 2 seasons, but this is all I could find in 2012, and that goes to show you that 2012 was a pretty weak year for TV releases. And I'm going off based off of what was released in that year and what was the biggest show for that year. Speaking of which, we go to 2013 and we got the GOAT, Attack on Titan, the best anime to come out this decade, period. There's no discussions and no debates about that. I know a lot of people haven't seen this, which is crazy because it's been out for almost 6 years now. It's about to wrap up its final season in 2020. Man, if you're not watching Attack on Titan, I'm not going to spoil nothing, but you're just really missing out. You don't even necessarily have to be an anime fan to enjoy this. This is just a dope ass story, like one of the best stories I've ever witnessed on screen, period. That's not like gassing this up or nothing. This is like truly true, like it's a masterpiece. That's all I can say. Speaking of masterpieces, we have my favorite show of all time, The Leftovers. You know, if you know me, you see me talk about The Leftovers a lot. The Leftovers is just a super complex, fascinating story from start to finish. Has 28 episodes, 3 seasons. I've literally rewatched this series at least 5 or 6 times now, and every time I've watched it, I find something new. I highly recommend you go check this out. I have a playlist on my channel. I'll probably put that in the link in the description below, where I talk about my favorite characters from The Leftovers and just kind of give you a brief description about The Leftovers. If you're curious, definitely go check those out, but definitely go check this series out for yourself. I think you won't be disappointed. 2015, we have Daredevil, and Daredevil was easily the best show to come out in 2015. If we're talking about just brand new shows, you know, because I didn't know really what to expect from this. You know, this was going to be on Netflix. It's super violent. Vincent D'Onofrio is fucking amazing in this as the Kingpin. If you haven't watched this, it's definitely worth going back. There's 3 seasons. I think you could still enjoy that even though they canceled it. It's a shame, but you should definitely go check this out. Now we're going over to 2016 with Stranger Things. Stranger Things, man. What else can I say about this show? If you haven't watched this show yet, I seriously think you're missing out. Some people think that this show has fallen off. Me, I think it just gets better with each season, personally, in my opinion. But, you know, everything that they set up in this show and how they pay homage to the 80s, some people think they do it a little bit too much, but, you know, I think this show is fine. Definitely one of Netflix's best shows and just one of the best shows to come out in this decade period. Now we go to 2017, where we have Glow. Now, I'm not going to spoil what Glow is all about, but pretty much I'll give you the premise. It's, you know, about this female wrestling league. This is based off true events. So if you're into wrestling and you're really a hardcore wrestling fan, I think you will really enjoy this. This has really well acted actors and just a really well told story throughout, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future with this series and how long it's going to go for. Definitely highly recommend that you guys check this out. So 2018, we got Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is easily one of the best shows to come out in 2018. It's phenomenal. I really enjoyed this from start to finish. This is how you bring back an old property and you bring it into modern times. This is done right. I love that we get to see this. If we get to see the story from Johnny's perspective. If you're a Karate Kid fan, you will definitely enjoy this. If you haven't been caught up to Cobra Kai, please do, because season 3 starts next year. You don't want to miss out what's about to happen. It's about to be some epic shit. So to cap this off, we got for 2019 Vinland Saga. This is a new anime that started this year, but we are 20 episodes in, and this shit is phenomenal. It's animated by the same people that did Attack on Titan with studios, so you already know this shit's going to be quality, that this is going to be something to not miss out on. Not going to spoil nothing, but if you're into like Norse mythology and just Vikings and stuff like that, I think you will get a kick out of this series. It's fucking phenomenal. Dope characters all the way through. But yeah, that's my list of my favorite shows of the decade. And overall, like I said, I think this has been the best decade. There's so many shows that I didn't mention that you should definitely go watch, like My Hero Academia, Doom Patrol, 7 Seconds, even though that was only 1 season. You just got a ton of shows to watch, and I think 2016 or 15 is when we started seeing a lot of TV getting put out and just a lot of content. And I wonder what you guys think about this list in the comments below. What are some of your favorite shows of this decade? You can make a whole list in the comments below, or you can just tell me your favorite show overall. I'd be really curious to see what you guys have in mind. Maybe it's something I've never watched before. Maybe your list probably consists of CW shows, more HBO shows. Who knows? Let me know. But yeah, this was been fun. But until my next video, I will check y'all out later. Peace.